Osiris temple. Scribe rhymes on papyrus in the fifth dimension. Smoked the flower of life, had visions. A book fell from the sky. Inside, death was written. Burnt the candle, made some shit happen. Chaos magic, abracadabra, out comes the ratchet. Leave the scene in the puff of smoke. Drugs and guns tucked inside the villain's coat. Mask got me feeling like I'm in Meth Doom. My fortress is on the dark side of the moon. Neteru, Nibirian, Nephilim, Elohim, alien, bloodline, Atlantean. I control the elements, earth, water, wind, fire. The sun is where I built my empire. Nightmare.
Yo, what's good? Back on another Monday. I might be flying solo right now, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man BMG Mo, you know what I mean? Hey, yo, we got a nice little good show here. We're gonna be dealing with, copyrights, publishing, distribution, things of that nature, you know what I mean? So, as you see, I have my website put up right now, you know what I mean? Check that out in your spare time. BornKingMusic.com. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, hit all the tabs at the top, home page, music, you know what I mean? Show you what the music look like. There it is right there. See, like as an artist, you gotta have stuff like this, man. You know what I mean? You gotta let these people know where you from. You feel me? You gotta know, how to actually really promote yourself with the tools that you have access to. And a website is a major part. Have your own.com. You most definitely want to get your own.com, because if people like let's just say YouTube bans you, or you get taken off of Spotify for whatever reason, they might want to take you off. You know what I'm saying? It's like you always have your good old trusty website. You know what I'm saying? You got a storefront. You know what I mean? You can get busy. You can make some money. You know what I mean? Photos. Villain apparel. You feel me? Boom! Look at this. Watch this. You see that right there? Got the Killer Fifth shoe, son. The Killer Fifth shoe. You feel me? $50. I made them for me, but if you want to pay, you know what I'm saying, go get yours. You heard me? So, about to get into the show real quick. Hold on, what we doing here? Let me see what we got going on. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. We at the start. Well, Sunday is normally the beginning of the week, but Monday, Monday, the work week, all that good stuff, whatever, right? So I'm about to present this screen to y'all, right? I want to get into my man Chance the Rapper. Hold up, wait a minute, not that one. Where we at? There we go. All right, so hold on, wait a minute, boom.
If I sign.
Now listen, Chance the Rapper or Masters Verse and Publishing. Feel me? This is Dorian Group 82. I'm going to like that right there, because this is pertinent information. You need to know this. You really need to know this. This is 3 years ago, but it's still relevant till today. To the day, it's still relevant. So here we go.
A record deal or a recording deal, I sign away my masters, which means the label owns the recording of that music. On the publishing side, if I write a record and I sign away my publishing in a publishing deal, they own the composition of work. So the idea of it, you know what I'm saying? So if I play your song on piano that you wrote, I have to pay you publishing money because it comes from that idea. Or if I sing a line from that song, it's from the publishing portion. If I sample the actual record, if I take a piece of that actual recorded music, that's from the master.
I've been asking you about this fucking video for a long time.
Hold up. Now, before I let him say what he has to say, this is what I'm going to say. There's a lot of artists out here that are basically uploading their music to platforms and their shit isn't copywritten. And to me, that's a fatal flaw within itself, because you're putting, not only are you putting your music out on a platform, but you have people that like to rip your shit, you know what I'm saying, steal it, all kinds of things, maybe even sample your shit, and you get no credit for it. I've seen many times where people only depend on putting their stuff on social media platforms, and they might even do numbers. They might even do numbers on YouTube, but guess what? It's not copywritten. You don't have a business page. You're not dealing with monetization. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, you're not going to get a check. You want to get a check. And that's what the whole purpose of knowing what publishing is, copyrights, you know, how to deal with your distribution. So I'm going to let him say what he got to say. You know what I mean? Let him get back into it.
A lot of you niggas don't know how to Google. Well, lazy motherfuckers win again. Ducks saving y'all ass again. My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond. My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com. Right here, we got a chance to.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to my channel as well as his. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Rapper talking about masters versus publishing. Okay, he broke this shit down about as simple as you possibly can. So when you record a song, there's two aspects of it. You have the idea that comes from your head, and you have the actual tangible product. Let's act like it's a CD. A CD is the tangible product. So the idea that's in your head is your publishing. You sign away in a publishing deal for $100,000, you were signing away that idea. So if anyone else tries to use that idea, they have to pay you publishing.
This is why I don't ever suggest people get a record deal. And if you do have a record deal, you feel me, let it just be a distribution deal through a record label or something like that. Because once you sign these deals, you don't own your music. You don't own your masters. You feel me? You probably don't even own your publishing. So basically you're doing and creating, and what you're going to do, you're going to give your shit away to the label. And then they're going to give you a portion of what they feel as though is fair for you to have off of the shit you created yourself.
For example, this video is from United Masters, and United Masters took that from some interview, whatever interview that it was. That interview was an idea. And because United Masters used it, technically they would have to pay them publishing, and I'll have to pay them publishing for that. If the legislation for social media had caught up yet, which I keep telling you, it eventually is. So that's the publishing. As I damn near cut my fucking hand on this mic. Second part is the master recording, which would be the actual CD. Like, we completed the song, we got the fucking CD. That is where you get paid on your masters. United Masters video that I just used, the actual finished video would be the masters. So United Masters would have to pay on the masters of that, and I'll have to pay on the masters of that. So
now think about it. If you do everything 100% yourself, or with inside of your unit, your clique, you know what I mean, your crew, your gang, whatever you want to call it yourself, or you and your peoples, right? You want to make sure that everybody in your circle eat this, that, and the third. Everybody has an equal share. So when you register the songs and when you do these copyrights, make sure that you know who makes the beats, who produced the song, you know, stuff like that, who actually really assisted in the writing. If you have a person that assists with writing, make sure everybody gets their pay. I don't care if somebody said, say it this way and put this part in there. That person deserves a share too.
When you own your masters and your publishing, you get to collect all of that. It happens when people sign deals, they sign that shit away, but they do that in exchange for cash. People wonder, like, well, why the fuck would you do that? The reason they do it is because they ain't got no money. Because you got all these ideas in your head right now. If somebody came to you right now and said, hey man, I'm gonna pay you $1 million for all the ideas in your head right now. A lot of us would do that because those ideas haven't came to fruition. But once those ideas come to fruition and they get executed, they're worth a lot more than $1 million. Same with the masters. A lot of y'all got songs right now. If somebody came and offered you $1 million for that song, they own the masters to it, would you do it? A lot of y'all would. But we keep telling y'all not to, because we are in a transitional state in the music business and in tech. There's no legislation. There's no royalties being paid on this shit. So everything that we're doing right now, I think we're eventually going to get paid on it. Don't sign that shit away.
Once again, don't sign your rights away to your music because that's what you're doing when you're getting the deal. I told y'all once before that this channel isn't about getting signed. This channel is about being an independent artist and getting everything that you should get that you deserve as an artist independently.
Quick money up front does not equate to what you're going to get on the back end. It's the equivalent of somebody buying your single on iTunes right now for 99 cents as opposed to them streaming that song for the next 99 years of their life. Which one's going to get you more money? Don't take the cash. Exchange for your brain. Did that make it simple for y'all? Don't ask me this question no fucking more. The link in the bio. Purchase our package for CC.
Listen, don't sign away your rights. And I do tell people this. I don't cut streaming completely out. I say do both. But my thing is, you shouldn't just depend on one. If you're a hustler, you're going to get money all kinds of ways. You feel me? You might even take the change. Some niggas don't take change. I'm going to take change as long as there's exact change. You understand what I'm saying? But you want to stream and you want to sell physicals. I can't stress that enough. They go hand in hand. When you're not on the street, you online. And then if you are online, you know what I'm saying, you can still be on the streets. You know what I mean? So it's just like, come on, like, get it. You know what I mean? Go out here, be motivated, move that music, sell that music, market that music. You understand what I'm saying? I can't stress it enough. I mean, y'all really have to understand the business. And a lot of people today, they get duped by the music business. And that's just simply what it is, yo. I mean, even Nas said it, yo. Somehow the rap game reminds me of the crack game. It's simple, especially if you used to be outside, you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, like, listen, make sure that you go on copyright.com, copyright.gov, you know what I'm saying? Do that. Get your music published, get it registered, find ways. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm just giving you, you know what I mean, some Easter eggs, some breadcrumbs, because I want you to ultimately do the work for yourself, because it's not about somebody doing something for you. It's about you getting the opportunity or the information that will give you opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can create opportunity for other people, but I mean, that's one part of it. But check this out.
I've said in one of my videos that the world has reached its deficit.
Sorry. The industry is crumbling before our eyes. Music is the new 9 to 5. So if you're going to get a record deal and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm going to escape a job, I'm getting ready to live my dream, check this shit out.
Industries like the retail industry and the fast food industry are crumbling, and it's no different with the music business. And I'm here for it, because the commodification of music.
Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe. Boom. Don Agello, this is his page. Once again, the industry is crumbling before our eyes. Music is the new 9 to 5.
Music has soured. Music used to be something you enjoyed, and now it's hard because the bar has been lowered in the quality department. A lot of people are also turned off and not supporting today's music, as the veil of secrecy and fake facades of the industry has been lifted more and more each year. We are also seeing the industry for what it is, just another form of the 9 to 5. With the rise of the internet and the cheapening of music, i.e. the music crash industry.
Cheapening of music, yo. I feel like, you know, when you put a project out and you put time into that project should be good for about a year or two for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you make good music. That's when you make music that defies time, you know.
The 2000s, we were indoctrinated to view this as a bad thing, but now I am convinced this is good. In this video, I'll be blabbering about the music industry and how it's crumbling before our eyes, how your faves are doing whatever they can to make ends meet, like the rest of us, and I'll tell you how all of this is a good thing for everyone. I'm Don, your pop culture boy. Let's get into it.
That's catastrophic.
I want to first talk about how the industry has changed. Money used to be long. Performers, singers, rappers lived lavish lifestyles, partying with Diddy, having a good old funky time.
No, don't party with Diddy.
You see this on your TV back in.
Hey, you don't party with Diddy, okay? Don't party with Diddy. Don't when he say party, party, that's when you find your exit.
the day and wish you too could be a part of that. Back in the day, the major artists made a lot more money from their music. The music industry had a lot more control back in the days of physicals, when the public valued music. However, after physical sales crashed in the 2000s, the music business hasn't been the same. There were lots of layoffs, which is still happening to this day. Some artists faded into obscurity as entire teams and departments at the
Mike Jones.
labels were downsized or completely obliterated, causing projects to fall by the wayside. That's why Dirty Diddy ventured into television, because the music wasn't selling. The glory days of the 90s were over. His record label Bad Boy wasn't as poppin'. It was no longer a hit factory. Biggie passed, and who didn't pass was in prison. That's why he joined the Making the Band as an executive producer. Not because he gives a damn about artists, but he knew people would watch. And at that time, reality TV was at its peak. So for Diddy, it was an opportunity for a different stream of income because
What do y'all think about that? I mean, I look at that as being true, you feel me? So it's like this, yo. Like, I keep trying to tell y'all, there is no money in music, but you can still get something out of it monetarily, but just don't expect as much as you might have thought maybe 5, 10, 6, 17 years ago. So at this point, right, you can make money, but it's just not that how can I put it? It's not that it's not in abundance as it used to be, as this guy is saying here. I'm saying to you, yeah, stream is cool. You know what I'm saying? Get that streaming money, but also get that physical money on the street, hand to hand. You know what I mean? Let's go tax free with it. You feel me? So streaming within itself, yo, it's cool. But when you getting a half a penny or even a whole penny, a half a penny and a whole penny, at one point in time, you let me get like $2 an album. You know what I'm saying? $2 off of each album. You feel me? Stuff like that. But if you selling it yourself and you selling your album for 12, you're gonna get 12. So these are things to consider. These are things to think about when you're dealing with your music business.
the industry is going downhill. So he made Danny D. Kane to only destroy them in the end after he made his money, allegedly. Also, I was today's years old finding out he tried to revive Making the Band in 2021, where he would have his sons be the judges. For obvious reason, that didn't happen.
All of your favorite artists are finito and finished. I don't think none of these people are making any coin from the music business.
Now,
see, from the music business, think about it. Like I said, a half a penny or a whole penny, it's still no fucking money. And when you think about how many streams it takes to make a certain amount of money, you know how much work you have to put in. That's why it's the new 9 to 5, because you don't have it easy in the music business these days. What you have is a lot of platforms. They want to keep you on the platform. This is why ads are important, monetization and all that, because if you generate a certain amount of followers, subscribers, etc., they want to put ads on your page. But this is something that must be done on a consistent basis, because the algorithm is God, the algorithm is king. So you have to put out a certain amount of, let's just say, content, music, or whatever, in order to generate revenue. This could take anywhere between, let's just say, 4 to 16 to 24 hours a day. And, you know, that depends on what type of music you do, what type of content you're putting out, what type of anything, who your niche marketing your shit to, right? So if you can attract, if you can become highly magnetic and attract, then you will get, you know what I'm saying, some paper. But the work that you have to put in, especially if you do have a 9 to 5, shout out to all the people that do have jobs doing this shit, because I know it's not easy. You'll go to your job to do 8 to 12 hours and then come home and then have to put in another shit, 24 hours, maybe 12 hours, you know what I'm saying? At a minimum. I can't even really say 8 because sometimes this shit takes all day long. If you wake up in the morning and you're a content creator, and let's just say you get up at 9, you start work for yourself at like 10 a.m. 9 times out of 10, you might finish around about like 6 p.m., something like that or whatever. So shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? That's a part of the grind.
Now, despite reports that sales for music revenue has increased due to streaming, artists are still not making money from it. Prior to the streaming era, music lovers had to buy an album for an average amount of maybe 12 USD, and sometimes maybe 3 of their favorite artists released that month, which would cost $36, compared to the more cost-efficient monthly plan, which can be as low as $5.99 a month, allowing you to listen to as much music and as much albums as you want with.
Now, look, $5.99 a month, $12.99 a month, however, right? And people are listening to your music, and they're being, you know what I mean? Your music is being streamed and all that, right? And maybe you'll be lucky enough to get into a playlist, you feel me, for consistent streams. But my thing is this: people are paying these platforms to hear music, and your music is available. Shit, the way I see it, we still should be getting a part of that as well, because we're on the platform that people are paying, just because they might not necessarily like let's just say I'm just going to throw something out there to the left real quick. Let's just say if it's something like 1970s retro music or something like that, a station that has it or whatever, just because those people might not even be living or however, whatever, if somebody is an owner of their estate, artists should be getting paid a percentage of that subscription fee. But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Just a little percentage of the subscription fee. That's where I feel like a half a penny or a penny would be, just due or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe $1. But for the music that's being streamed, man, we need our paper. That's all I'm saying.
Within that period. And platforms like Spotify, they even have a free subscription, causing artists today to make pennies. So although streaming is convenient, it doesn't hit the pockets of these artists the same like physicals. According to Billboard, Beyonce made $62 million in 2016. However, only $4.3 million and $1.9 million respectively hail from music sales and streaming. 2016 is also the year Beyonce released her ground-shattering album, Lemonade. So even for major artists, it's kind of slim out here when it comes to money being made.
And let me say this about major artists versus indie artists on Spotify platforms. Yo, listen. Now, let's just say you put out an album and you got like 10 songs on it. Out of those 10 songs, one song hits 1,000. Everything else is like 300, 400, 250 per song, stuff like that, right, on the numbers. Now, just because that one song, you know what I'm saying, did 1,000, that whole project don't get no money. Each song on that project has to hit 1,000 in order for that project to make revenue. So this is why it's easier to put out singles versus putting out a whole damn album, because your single stands a chance of becoming that one that can hit that threshold that will unlock some revenue for you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a bag. But if you have a whole project, shit, I just hope you got a strong enough fan base for all those songs to, you know what I'm saying, make some change. But outside of that, just some personal advice: do singles first. Work your way up to putting the album out at this point. First, it was we drop a single to let you know that the album is coming. Nah, it's backwards now. Now you got to work your way up to saying, hey, we might be putting out an album depending on the responses we get. You feel me? So that's one to grow on. And there's a way to also put an album out too, but I'm not going to share that.
From streaming. So you can only imagine how much smaller acts make from their streams, as everyone from these platforms are getting paid from the same pool. But more on Beyonce in a bit.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. The revenue that you are generating with your songs, even if they did get 300 streams per se or whatever, you don't get that money. But guess where that money goes to? Beyonce, Taylor Swift, people like that.
A little streaming makes no wonder why labels have to prioritize certain artists more than others. Because if most major acts' albums are barely going platinum, why even make an album anymore? That's why people
I
don't
just
make
said that.
albums and just rather release singles and EPs. It already costs a lot to make music.
See what I'm saying? I'm not making this up. I'm an artist. I have to find out ways to put music out. I have to find out ways to put music out that makes sense for me. So once again, there's no one blueprint that will, that's a one size fit all, but you can modify, you can adjust it, and you can mold it to make it fit you.
Now, does it have to? Not really, but in the industry with multiple mouths to feed, everyone has to be included. That's what makes it an industry. The money is just not coming in like it used to. That's why labels are forcing their artists to sign 360 deals. So labels are now getting a piece of everything, causing artists to make less money.
Wait a minute. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Drake, that big 400 million deal that he has, from my understanding, don't quote me on it, but look it up. That's supposed to be a 360 deal. Hey, I'm just saying, that's a 360 deal. Now, don't get me wrong. If you know what type of deal you have and you understand how the deal works, I've said it before, once the contract ends, you should have already been in motion to be doing something different that's really going to benefit you to 100%. You know what I'm saying? You need to benefit you 100%. You have to know how to separate work. You have to know how to say, hey, I got a deal with y'all. This is what's coming along with this deal, because you are a negotiator as well at the table. So you can say what you will and what you won't do. Right now, after that deal, you back on your own independence, right? You use that deal for whatever you had to use it for, maybe for more expansion, maybe even for more marketing, all that good stuff. And even for your own experiences of learning some new things, you know what I mean? But at the end of that deal, you want to make sure that you have built something that is ready to go in motion as soon as that contract is ended. So if your contract ends 12 midnight, you should be in motion. You feel me? 12:01.
So I have to go in the studio. I got to book studio time. And you may not get a song the first session. So now I got to keep doing that. And that's money. And then I have to hire an engineer, and that's money. And I got to feed everybody. That's money. And then when I make the song, I have to finish it. That's money. Some more studio sessions. Now I've brought in another producer. Now I got to pay that producer, pay this producer. We got to negotiate. So now that's lawyers. That's money. And now I got to mix it. That's money per song. Now that's 14 songs on this album. The last album was 19. So, let's say, and I posted something like this on my page and people argue with me about it. So studios typically for a 12-hour block is $1,200. Then the session engineer is $75 to $100 an hour. So
hold up. 1,200. Woo. Now listen, this is the beauty of technology. If you're computer savvy and you know how to make beats and record yourself and all that, the same as we do over here, you just waive that fee. You don't have to pay that shit that she's paying. This is what I mean by signing a contract with a company, with a record label, right? You have to they got to recoup this money, right? You got to make this money back. When they give you a budget, the shit she's talking about right now, that's what the budget pays for. Not to go get a new chain, not to go, you know what I'm saying, like go get a car and all that shit. That money is for shit like this.
Just add that up. Say you do 7 sessions a week, it's $10,000 just on sessions.
10 G's, 10,000, 10K just on sessions, right? Now, music publishing, copyrights and all that, they own that. So do y'all see where I'm going with this? They own all of that. You're not literally making any money. After this process that she's telling you about, you start getting some residual income, right? I don't know how much the deal would be negotiated or how, like, per song or per album or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to try to do it in the favor of you. They want to give you pennies. They want you to keep working till they burn you out, and then you just become a memory, and you be on somebody's reality show talking about what you used to do.
And then mixing anywhere from 2,500 to 10,000 a track. That's 19 tracks, so that's $100,000. Just rounding it.
Your math is impeccable, by the way.
Just rounding it.
Okay.
That's horrible math. I'm not. But, just think about that. So
Yeah.
now you're already at 120, and now you gotta pay for the beats. So they're
120,000. Let's go.
anywhere from 5,000 to 40,000 a track, depending on who you're working with. And sometimes there's multiple producers, so you gotta pay this fee, this fee, this fee, this fee, times 14, so 400,000 at the top end. So let's just say 250 plus 120. Now you're already at 300,000. That eliminates 75% of the people who are aspiring. I didn't realize how much money that it takes to actually be an artist. This is before you market. This is before you shoot a video. This is before you do an appearance.
She said before. This is before. All of the glitz and glamour parts, all of the shit that, hey, look at me, I'm shining, before all those parts, this is the part, this is the main part, because all that other shit is afterwards, after this shit. So you gotta think about this. Oh, I'm gonna get a deal. I'm gonna get signed. Man, like, it's just not even worth it sometimes. Not unless you have a plan.
And now also I'm a female.
Are these things that you learned when you launched your own label, or was
Yes.
this already on your radar?
So this is all stuff that I realized in real time as I was launching Supergiant.
Now, this part doesn't only apply to musicians, but
Wow.
celebrities in general. But back when the money was moneying and people placed a lot more value and prestige on celebrity, you couldn't tell them nothing because the value of fame was so high back then. A lot of them thought their shit could make tasty patty. Around the internet boom and YouTube getting popular, like say 2007, you wouldn't catch a lot of these celebrities on YouTube, mainly for actors and some musicians, compared for their reason being on YouTube then to now, meaning back then they would just stick to music related content like music videos, interviews, or touring.
See, and that's the way that it should be. And sometimes I feel like social media has kind of ruined, like it has ruined the celebrity, meaning that, you used to like wonder about your artist and you couldn't wait to hear the song because you wanted to know what the artist was going through, what continuation they might do from the last album, things of that nature. You feel me? And then when the video comes out, you're like, oh shit, look at this, that, and the third or whatever, which gives you a deeper understanding of the song. Now, to know what these motherfuckers eat every day, you know what I'm saying, where they going and waking up and all, fuck all that. Like, I don't want to know that. I'll hear that in the music. I don't have to see that. You understand what I'm saying? To me, that's one of the ways that music has been cheapened.
Or behind the scenes. Twitter did open some celebrities up to social media where they would try to be regular, but YouTube, you wouldn't catch them on YouTube in that state at all. YouTube was for regular people. Celebrities turned their noses down on the internet because there wasn't any money in it, or it was just too cheap. By the way, the internet in general is cheap compared to traditional media like television, billboards, magazine spreads, print. But now, because the money in the industry is drying up, we are now seeing artists starting cooking channels, doing mukbangs.
Yo, listen, yo. Wow. Loving hip hop, shit like that, or what have you. Like you said, cooking shows and shit. Like, don't get me wrong, y'all. Like, there's nothing wrong with expanding, branding yourself and doing other things outside of music. It's a good thing, but it can also be detrimental, and it takes away your star power because now you are starting to become human. Now you are starting to be, like less of who you are in the music. I can't tell you how many times I've seen something like Love and Hip Hop or whatever, right? Seeing an artist that, I vibe with, and then just to see certain sides of that artist in real time on reality TV. And I'm like, but that's not what your song say. you supposed to go hard, like the song said. That's what you said you do in your songs. You're not doing that right now. I'm just saying this is how it cheapens the brand. It can hurt the artist. Sometimes it's good in small doses, but the way like this shit is, like I said, they want to keep you online. So for me to see my artist every day or deal with this person every day, like, nah, man, I still have a life as well. You know what I mean? So, nah.
Doing storylines. Look at Will Smith, one of Hollywood's biggest names. Like, he's really just a glorified social media influencer now. T-Pain, the pop-in rapper from the 2000s, he's now just a streamer, ranting and raving like myself. We are seeing these streamers blowing up to the point where rappers rather go on their platforms for interviews.
Now you see that? Now that's another thing too. Streamers are making more money than artists in the music business. I'm not hating on it. I'm streaming, you know what I'm saying? I do things. But once again, it's like you see what this industry is now, and you have one thing taken away from the other thing, making the first thing that you ever fell in love with, right? For some, it takes away its value. You have people dumbing down what they do because the internet, let's just say the internet's IQ is a little bit lower than we would like to say. It really is. Yeah, I like the way I said that. The internet's IQ is a little low. I'm just saying the way that it functions because of a masses of people. And we all know that, short content or things that don't really, help expand consciousness, let's just say, actually really survive well or do well online, because some people will say, oh, that's too deep, or I don't want to think right now, and shit like that.
And promotion runs instead of the respectable publication. Rapper Nicki Minaj, she went on Kai Cenat's streams to promote her last album. Also, Offset and 21 Savage went on Kai's stream as well. Tyla as well, and Ice Spice, who I'll talk a bit more further in the video. Even the boring comedian Kevin Hart is invading the streamer space.
Yeah, see, that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't rock with Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? He is boring. I don't like his stand-up. I cannot stand this guy's stand-up. It ain't no hate move with me and none of that. He's just not that funny to me. He's more funnier maybe in a movie, but once again, we call him an agent, and that's a whole different. I can't wait to get this Bad Life Media channel started. I mean, I really can't, because I got so many things I want to say outside of hip hop. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm trying to get it together now. I'm working behind the scenes on that shit, but I'm trying to tell you, like, whoo, boy, I got some shit for y'all.
For clout. The money is not as strong as it used to be, forcing these celebrities to do things that they wouldn't do 10 to 15 years ago. And I know Tyla and Ice Spice came out a few years ago, but if they debuted back in the day, you wouldn't catch them on the internet, only on regular social media like Instagram or Facebook, being all demure. I hope I use that in the right context, because I am 80 years old and I can't keep up with these slangs and new terms. Now, hit songs are not hitting the same and are not lasting as long as they used to, meaning a song will debut at number 1, then fall out of the top 10 the following week. And these are major songs, great songs, but songs don't peak at number 1 consecutively, consistently as they once did. Yes, and a song by pop singer Ariana Grande had a huge release, debuting at number 1 on the Hot 100 back in January, but it only spent 1 week atop the chart. And yes, the song went platinum, but normally an Ariana Grande number 1 sells more than that. And it was certified in June, a number 1 song. So songs are also taking a longer time to go platinum. Ariana had another song that peaked at number 1 for 2 weeks, We Can't Be Friends. Megan Thee Stallion's Hiss spent only 1 week atop the Hot 100.
Now, I gotta say this. Do you hear what he's saying to y'all as far as for staying on Billboard and all that? I mean, if you're into that and all that, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm in it for different reasons, and is for one, I'm in it for the love, but number 2, give me my bread. Like, I don't fuck the fame, money over fame, yo, MOF, you know what I'm saying? MOB, money over bitches, and also money over fame, and also, once again, MOE, money over everything, right? But I put love first, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I love the craft, but since the internet is doing what it's doing and monetization exists, why not? So I'm going to get a bag, right? But I don't care about the billboard. I don't care about none of that shit, right? I just give me my bread. That's just where I'm at with it. Bag life.
One of the biggest diss tracks of the year, Kanye's Carnival, spent 1 week atop the chart. Beyonce's Texas Hold'em submit for 2 weeks only. Taylor.
And I think one of the reasons why this is happening is because of the way that people are putting music out. Stop putting music out all the fucking time. Put an album out. Let that bitch last for a year. Let people, you know what I mean? Let a build up happen. Then you'll be even greater. But you just keep giving it all out. Take this, take that. And you're cheapening yourself.
Swift, the biggest artist in the world, her song Fortnite also did just 2 weeks. Sabrina Carpenter, this year's rising star, stayed at #1 for 1 week with her song Please, Please, Please. Grand opening, grand closing. What I'm also realizing in today's music scene is that artist relevance isn't lasting either. And it's because
facts. Hey, before I let him finish his statement, I'm going to say that artist relevance is everything that I've been talking about up until now. As far as for putting out microwavable music, they're putting out music like McDonald's fast food. You know what I'm saying? You might just pull up at McDonald's. Can I get this CD, please? Or can I get the, you know what I mean? Shopify. I mean, not Shopify. I'm sorry. Spotify is like McDonald's of music and shit, for real, for real.
Because of streaming. #1, streaming is easily manipulated. Physicals as well, but not to the high degree like streaming. Back in the day on release date, an artist, some of them would buy their own records to give it away in a, celebration type of way. But with streams, apparently streams can be bought to make an artist appear bigger than he actually is.
Well, now don't quote me on this, you know what I mean? But there's a particular, there's a person, there's an artist out here that had back in the day brought a whole warehouse of his own shit just so he could go platinum. Not saying he didn't sell, because he did sell, but he brought a whole warehouse of his own shit. That's just one to grow on. That move, that was in physicals. That same move can be applied to streaming.
Back in July, No Jumper reported that Megan Thee Stallion had 3 million streams removed from her last album by Spotify due to suspicious bot behavior detection. That sent Nicki Minaj and Tory Lanez online minions into a feeding frenzy.
Once again, suspected of bots. I'm not defending her. I'm defending artistry. So therefore, like I said, you got all your music streaming, but you have no physicals. Spotify does that to you. Now, what's your next move? Do you have your own .com? Do you have physicals?
And it's not just Megan. There's a lot more major artists that have been accused of faking their streams. Kanye West, Don Toliver, and Travis Scott, who was recently crying.
Faking streams, faking physicals, right? I mean, who's to say what? You feel me? But at the same time, sell your shit yourself. You don't have to worry about that shit.
Because he thought he had a 11,000 copies lead on Sabrina Carpenter for the #1 album. But in a turn of events, Sabrina claimed the #1 spot, causing him to run over to Billboard, accusing them of not counting 1,000+ copies. That would have given him the #1 album. Now, he did all of that for his album to decline 97% on the Billboard 200 chart in its second week, earning him the biggest decline in this decade. So yeah, should have kept your mouth shut, Travis. Streaming has really damaged the music business reputation, in my opinion, because it is so easily manipulated by anyone, it appears. Ice Spice's career is tied to streams and impressions. That's what make her seem like a superstar. Also, TikTok played a huge part in her success. So when Universal Music took their music off the platform earlier this year, Ice was affected. Yeah, she signed to 10K Projects, but Ice also has a deal with Capitol Records.
See? This is what I mean. Once again, you're hearing this right now. This is fresh information. People's shit gets taken down off Spotify. It don't matter who you are. If they suspect your shit, bought it, if they even have a little whisper, heard a whisper of it, your shit's coming down. And there ain't nothing you can do about it, for real, for real. Have your own .com.
records. And Capitol is owned by Universal. I know, complicated. Also, Ice's 40 million monthly listeners got cut in half in a year. And at the time of making this video, the rapper currently has 17 million monthly listeners on the platform. Stans and fans love to go on about who has the most monthly listeners on Spotify, but it doesn't mean anything. Currently, Celine Dion has about 1 million more monthly listeners than Ice Spice. Does that mean they are comparable? There was also a time when Ice had more monthly listeners than the Beatles. And as I mentioned earlier, they aren't making money from their streams. 9 months ago, the hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg said he was paid fewer than $45,000 for 1 billion streams.
Yo. Yo. Now just imagine, right? If 40, oh my God, I can't even say this number right now. Woo. Listen, 45, right? Thousand, yo, for 1 billion streams. Now, imagine if you sold 1 billion CDs or flash drives or MP3s or shit like that off your own site. Imagine how much money you would make depending on how much you charge for that shit. And you're getting all of it.
And we could go deeper into the stream shits. Right now, Spotify is removing artists for bots when these artists don't even have 1,000 streams. Some artists are getting paid more than others. Some artists aren't even getting royalties from streaming, although it's been reported that streaming has increased the music business revenue, which makes no sense. Like, the industry is crumbling. Music has become more of a side hustle that leads into other things that can actually get you paid. That's why we see a lot of product placements in your fave's music videos. Example, Cardi B, Bongo's music video. That video is a literal ad. Or we always see the Beats Pills speakers in various amount of music videos over the years. And most recently, The Weeknd.
Wait a minute. I told y'all ads. I told y'all about ads. I told y'all all about the ads. They need you to be online. They need to make money off of you and give you pennies.
His music video flashed us at the end that it was filmed with an iPhone 16.
But I also think a lot of people just love fame. So, you know, hey, look at me. I have this, I have that. You know, you might not even be getting the money, you know what I'm saying? But long as people could pay attention to you and your numbers look decent, you'll live the illusion, the smoke and mirrors and shit.
So while we were all enjoying it, at the end, we all then realized it was just an ad for an iPhone. Artists are releasing deluxe editions like a day after the standard edition in an attempt to drive sales, which is kind of crazy because back in the olden days, we only got a deluxe if an album sold 1 million. Then we would get the platinum edition, or if it's like a 1-year anniversary. Because of how bad the artist economy is right now, music is becoming a headache, resulting in a lot of re-releases. Recently, Travis Scott, Days for Rodeo. It was originally released in 2014 as a mixtape, and 3:15:20 by Childish Gambino. That was released in 2020, and he re-released the project under a different title this year with a few added tracks. And
yo, this is what happens when you release too much fucking music. Now you got to release some shit from back in the day just to try to keep up, you know what I'm saying, with the competitorship of whatever the fuck. You heard people say Kendrick don't put out enough music, but Drake always does and all this other type shit. The more music you put out, the less potent your shit will be at the end, in the end. But the, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, wait a minute. I said that wrong. Put out less music, the more potent. Put out more music, less potent. There we go.
And changes to the mix and track listing. Taylor Swift has been re-releasing her album since 2021. We are also seeing massive players in music selling their catalogs, which isn't new, but there are artists that we wouldn't expect. Shakira, Katy Perry, even Justin Bieber sold the rights to his entire catalog. And he did this in 2023 before he turned 30. Not even 30 and already selling and getting the hell up out of Dodge, allegedly. We are also seeing artists opting to do other things, stranger things for income instead of releasing music. Cardi B joined OnlyFans, where she made millions.
What the fuck? See, I ain't even know that. Damn, that's wow. Wow.
Over $40 million and hasn't released an album since. And it's not only
This is why we haven't heard any new music from her. I see now.
Cardi B, who went on this platform that's notoriously known for P. We saw Tyga went on there, Chris Brown went on there, Sukiana went on there, everyone went on there. Even I went. Rihanna doesn't seem to be interested in coming back to music in a major way since the money she's making from her brand Fenty has made her a billionaire. Like, music can be a headache that doesn't even yield a profit. So why even come back? Beyonce has come out with multiple business ventures outside of music, causing people to wonder if she's money hungry. And to that I say, sure, she probably is. And why wouldn't she if she wants to stay rich? But the reason why we're seeing Beyonce come out with recently a hair care line and liquor is because the money from music is not really cutting it and it cannot support her lifestyle. Remember, we see these celebrities live in these huge mansions, drive these expensive cars. Music is not paying for that. Music cannot pay for that. When you drive past her house, all the lights on, light bill high as fuck. And also, a lot of these celebrities, look at what happened to Juice WRLD, rest in peace, but he was low-key a drug dealer because allegedly the music is not cutting that check.
Juice WRLD's cause has officially been determined after he shockingly passed away last month. According to the Cook County Medical Examiner, the late rapper died from an accidental overdose of oxycodone and codeine. The Interscope Records artist, whose real name was Jared Higgins, went into cardiac arrest at the Chicago Midway International Airport and was pronounced dead at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, Illinois on December 8, 2019. According to police, Juice suffered a seizure while cops and federal agents searched his private plane for. Witnesses claimed Juice swallowed multiple Percocet pills, which contained oxycodone, in an effort to conceal them from authorities. Police and federal agents
R.I.P. Rest in power, Juice WRLD. God dang.
were called to the airport after being tipped off to a private jet carrying large amounts of narcotics. Authorities found 70 pounds of marijuana, 6 bottles of what's believed to be liquid codeine, but no passengers have been charged with drugs so far. 2 of Juice's security guards were hit with gun charges after 3 handguns were discovered on the jet. Juice was 21 years old. He was laid to rest at a
Another indication that solidifies the industry is crumbling is how everyone is at each other's necks. Everyone is suing each other, snitching on each other, complaining about each other, starting lyrical beefs or trying to start lyrical beefs. The other day, we saw people getting upset that Kendrick is performing at the next Super Bowl, saying it should have been an artist from New Orleans, like Lil Wayne. And I'm just like, since when rappers give a about the Super Bowl? Like, since when gangsters give a damn about the Super Bowl? No, they don't. They don't give a damn. It's the money. Because remember, once you go on the Super Bowl, your catalog goes through the roof because millions of people tune in every single time. We are seeing people like Dirty Diddy and R. Pissy Kelly finally getting what is coming to them because.
Hold up. Y'all see what Kanye did during that Super Bowl moment or whatever, you know what I'm saying, when he brought the ads for the for the game and how shit just went through the roof, right? Like, Kanye smart, you know what I mean, as far as for business wise, he finally has, you know what I mean, gotten it down to a science, but you know, fully independent, you know, I applaud that man.
Because of the money is not being distributed anymore. And the pandemic is really showing us who really got it and who didn't. And I'm not saying victims shouldn't sue or, you know, speak their truths. All I'm saying is this revelation is motivated by money, allegedly. The final nail in the coffin. The public is not so keen on giving their money to music anymore, or like they used to, as more of these sinisters and manipulation tactics by the industry continues to get exposed. Music was never meant to be commodified because music belongs to everyone. Not saying people can't sell their music or fans shouldn't buy music or people should steal music. But can we just admit that the commodification, the focus, and the value of the dollar sign will bring the industry to a halt very soon? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that's truth right there. He broke it down perfectly, right? So I'm just telling everybody, be careful, know the business, dot your I's, cross your T's, do the research. You know what I mean? Like, share, subscribe on this channel. You feel me? That way, you know, you're going to get some information or some Easter eggs that can help you, you know what I'm saying, on your journey. Because we're not going to do the all, you know, we're not going to do all the work for you. You know what I mean? That's just not what it's going to be. So, yeah. Woo, another Monday, pulled it off. You feel me? Had a good time. You know what I mean? Though, like, if y'all got anything, you know what I'm saying, that y'all might want to know, hit me up, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I might could do the research for you, you know what I mean, depending on what it is. You feel me? Yeah, so yeah, how we gonna end this? What am I gonna do to end this today? What should I hit y'all with? You know what I'm saying? Boom. Hit y'all with that. You know what I mean? Because it's how you play chess. You feel me? It's all about how you play chess. And you got to play chess at your best. You know what I mean? You gotta know how the pieces move on the board. You feel me? So, you know, at the end of the day, as always, do your due diligence, yo. This was Music Talk Mondays. I forgot to say it in the first half, but Music Talk Mondays. And I'm going to leave you with what song I'm going to leave y'all with today. Here we go. Hit y'all with that right there.
Yo, yeah. I told niggas, I said it was apocalypse now. We dropped the mix CD, you know what I mean? So now, the apocalypse is about to happen. Yeah, welcome. Told niggas, they ain't fucking listening. So, it is what it is, right? Corny niggas, move to the fucking side. Move to the fucking side. Corny niggas, move that way. Fuck out my face. Mike is ahead of you niggas. Elder Baron, handstand, scorpion tag. Cause I'm Heron. Snatch a queen with a pawn, fire breathing dragon. Just left the grip shop, about to get my swag on. Fresher than a shirt that still got the tag on. Double G showing, bitch, I get my sag on. Megatron phenomenon, shots hit the protons, let them froze on the ground, daddy bled on. She a fan, nigga, she want this shirt that I sweat on. Yeah. Shine. Yo. Make way. For real niggas. You know what I'm saying? Respect the gods when they come through. You know what I mean? Shit. Light box, nigga. Bubble like gas.